What's up, guys? Recently, I had the opportunity to interview my friend Malcolm, who has trained athletes for the Olympic and National Games in China. He's developed his own successful clothing brand called Just Too Nice, and overall is just a driven, creative, and entrepreneur. Now, I wanted to interview him to basically find out how did he manifest the future that he so clearly envisioned. Now, I'm going to start this interview at the juiciest part, but before I get to that, you will need to know a little bit of context. For one, Malcolm was a student athlete. He had a full ride scholarship to Oregon State, and he developed his own clothing brand during that time called Just Too Nice. Now, Just Too Nice ended up being a nickname that he had from the field, and it transferred over to the clothing brand. Now, I hope that you guys enjoy this interview, you feel inspired to start or continue the things that you are passionate about. Enjoy. So I want to know, why did you start the brand originally? What was the motivation behind that?
So the motivation behind the clothes in general. So I always liked clothes. I like dressing up. I like looking, a certain way. Mm-hmm. And I realized, I spend a lot of money on clothes. I might as well make my own. Mm-hmm. And I was always drawing stuff. And one particular day at school, I had a backpack on, and my friend jokingly grabbed me, and the strap kind of ripped off. Mm-hmm. And I really liked the backpack, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go home. My mom knows how to sew, so I'm gonna just take her sewing kit, and I'm gonna just sew that back. Mm-hmm. And once I sewed it back, I was like, you know what? The backpack's already ripped. I'm sewing it. Let me turn it into something. So I painted Just Too Nice on my backpack.
Okay.
But this is before that. People had already been calling me Just Too Nice. I was number 2 on the field. One time a dean was like, "You're nice on the field." Another dean was jokingly was Just Too Nice. And it was a joke, but I liked it a lot. So I would call myself Just Too Nice, and then I'll paint it on my backpacks and I'll get a stitch in my hats. Yeah. And once I started wearing that backpack, it went from me calling myself Just Too Nice to everybody, calling me Just Too Nice. Okay. So I took the name Just Too Nice, and I went to college with it, and I signed up for financial aid. Mm-hmm. And it didn't come, so we did terms, first term, second term, third term. Mm-hmm. I signed up for it late, so it didn't come first term. I was checking for checking my emails. Didn't come second term. I'm damn, it's not gonna come. Mm-hmm. Third term, all the money came at one time. Mm-hmm. So I got $5,000 at one time. Wow. And I had never had access to that amount of money in my life. Yeah. So obviously I went to the mall and blew $1,000.
I was gonna say, I think I know where this is going.
Yeah. The first day I went to the mall.
Not to books, but okay.
Maybe a little more than $1,000. I bought a MacBook. Okay. I bought the Beats by Dre when it first came out. Okay. I got 5 pair of shoes, some jackets, I did it up. Yeah. And it felt amazing. Yeah. But when I was done, I still had $3,500. Okay. So I was like, you know what? I always wanted to start this brand. Mm-hmm. I finally have the money to do it. Mm-hmm. Let's do it. Yeah. So I researched what it takes to start a clothing brand, just Googled. Got my name registered. And then it was a place called Corvallis Customs in Corvallis that did screen printing. So I just ordered some blank crew necks from I think it was Hanes. Mm-hmm. And I went in there. I had this girl help me make my logo on Photoshop. Mm-hmm. Because I didn't know how to use Photoshop because I couldn't do the major I wanted to do. Yeah. But she helped me with that. I got the logo, my first Just Too Nice logo. Went to Corvallis Customs, and they made them for me, and I went back and posted on Facebook, I got some crew necks for sale, Just Too Nice is here. Yeah. And some of the cheerleaders bought my stuff, some of the football players bought my stuff, and then pretty soon it was randoms. Yeah. There's so many different things that I want to ask. So first of all, I feel like a lot of people get caught up in having things polished and ready, let me make my debut and my website and my business card has to be here. Yeah. That doesn't sound like that type of situation. No, did you have a mindset even going into it, I'm trying to make money, or I'm trying to do this and this and that, or was it just kind of organic in the way it happened and you just said, hey, this is what I'm doing if you're interested? It was organic. I always thought about Just Too Nice. I always was drawing, doodling, trying to make characters. Like if I were to show you the characters I made back then, it was terrible.
Yeah.
But it was always on my mind. You know, it was like football was there, but I'm always drawing just too nice, just too nice. Like I was like a schoolgirl that liked a boy named Just Too Nice. You know what I'm saying? So it was everywhere. So it wasn't calculated at all. I didn't think about it. When I got the money, I was like, well, I might as well start making these shirts. I want to wear Just Too Nice. Like one day I want to stop wearing someone else's stuff and start wearing my stuff. And if I don't start, then I'll never do that. Like I never worried about being perfect because I know that there's a process to everything. You know, it's like when you're a baby, when you start crawling, you know, then you start walking, then you start running. You know, there's a process to everything. So I'm not gonna waste time trying to be perfect and never start. Yeah. I'd rather start and then make mistakes and then become quote unquote perfect. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just get in their own head and will never start. They'll make a plan to start and it just never takes off. Yeah. And I've never been that type of person, and that's one thing that I really, thinking back, I really enjoy that about myself because I met other people that are the planners, and we go together very well. You know, you're a planner, I'm not. I'm a goer, but we need each other. You know what I'm saying? So that was key for my business, just getting started and just getting help along the way. Because like once you start something, you never know how many people want to reach out and help. Yeah. You know, but if you never start, how would they know to help?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, even in the beginning stages, it wasn't like you had everything figured out, but it sounds like you put it out there and then naturally you found people to grow it and polish it and do what you need to do.
Exactly.
So I just want to know, how did you even get the idea to start a business? Because, you know, some people, not that it's bad, but it's like whatever we're exposed to sometimes is what we think is possible. So how did you even think like, oh, I can have a business or I can do X, Y, and Z?
You know what? I just wanted to wear something that said Just Too Nice on it.
Yeah.
And the whole business idea and becoming rich did not matter. Yeah. I wanted to wear Just Too Nice, and more importantly, when I was drawing stuff in my backpacks, people was wanting backpacks like that. I knew that I had an influence, and I knew that I had to make more. You know, I was making stuff for me, and people loved it, but I was like, I gotta make this for other people. You know, I have to put my touch on other things. Yeah. Because even when I would go to the mall, like I would see stuff, oh, this is a dope shirt, but it has that rhinestone on it. You know, I was like, I could do way better with this shirt. You know what I'm saying? So I always felt like I could like change the clothing world. But I never thought about like money. I just thought about like, this is what I want to do, and I'm gonna figure out how to do it. Yeah. And the money has come from that. Yeah. But it's more just like a passion. Like I can't sleep. You know, I'm thinking about this all the time. Like it's not bothering me. It's bothering me that it's not real yet. You know what I'm saying? Like it's in my head, and until it's in the world, it's gonna bother me.
Yeah. I think that's really cool, because I think sometimes people are trying to figure out like what their passion is, and at least for me personally, I feel like something that has just been pressing in my head that I think about all the time, that I daydream about. It's almost like my happy place. I think that is essentially kind of where our passion lies. So that's kind of what it sounds like to you. It's just like this nagging thing that you felt like you had to do. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, no doubt. And for most people, they don't do their passion, or the fear for it is like the process of making it real. You know, like we can all daydream about like, I want to be this. Like when you're a kid, someone asks you if you want to be a firefighter, or they ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? You say a firefighter. It's easy to say that. Yeah. But you don't know you have to take this test and climb this ladder with this on your back to become a firefighter. So it's like when you're a kid and your imagination is wild, like it's easier to like say what you want to be and kind of pretend like that. But then when you're an adult and you have these realistic mindset, it's like, well, I want to be this, but this is what it's going to take. And it's like, here you are, and in the middle is what it's going to take, and then here's the end goal. That middle part is like really scary for most people. And for me, it's just like, well, time is going to pass regardless, whether I'm doing it or not doing it. And life is going to be much more fun pursuing it than not pursuing it. Yeah. Because I've done both. So when I graduated from college in 2014. Okay. It's 2020 now. When I first got out, I kind of had to put it to the side and work regular jobs just to make ends meet. Yeah. And that was the worst time of my life, where I had to go to a job, but in the back of my head, I'm thinking about Just Too Nice, or like a new design, or like the next clothing launch, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I can't write it down or build on it because I'm here at your job. I've even walked into like interviews and they ask me like, what do you want to do with your life?
Don't ask me that.
And one time I just looked at the lady and I was like, I want to do just too nice clothing.
Really?
Yeah.
You were just honest?
I was honest. And she looked at me, she was like, what is it? I was like, it's my brand. And she was like, well, why are you here?
Yeah.
And she was like, if this is not what you want to do, this is the most honest interview I ever had.
Yeah.
She's like, if this is not what you want to do, then you're wasting your time and you're wasting mine. And I was like, damn. Get out of here.
Yeah. yeah.
But yeah, like once it got to that point where I'm like, the word, I couldn't hide those words from saying it to her. You know, it was like word throw up. I just came out like, just too nice clothing. That's all I think about. That's all I dream about.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. That's what I want to be known for.
Yeah.
That is my legacy. You know what I'm saying? So I cannot work your job. Even though I need money, I'll figure it out. You know. So so yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
What I'm just curious. What was that job?
It was I think selling insurance.
Selling insurance. Okay. That's totally out of the blue,
so
not
I had to take a test for that. It was just like so much to do your job, but I don't really want to do your job, you know. So it's like it was easy for me to be like, well, actually, you know what? I did even try to, after that conversation. I was like, you know what? I do need money. I'm still gonna try to figure out how to do both. So I studied for the test, and I ended up failing the test. And I was like, you know, this is a sign.
Yeah.
Like, this is a sign. I need to just focus on this too.
Yeah. Wow. That's interesting. So what advice would you give people who are stuck in a certain job? Because I feel like that's a lot of people that I meet and talk to. It's like they're doing this. Say, for example, I was talking to a lady. She's working 2 jobs. She's happy because she's like, okay, I can make ends meet. I'm proud that I'm not a dependent. However, it's draining her energy. She cries sometimes because of the stress of it, but she wants that money to provide for her family. So it's like, I notice people are doing things for something that they value, but a small part of them is almost dying inside. Yeah. So what advice would you give people who are, you know, maybe they're stuck, they feel like they're stuck in the rat race, or just like they feel like they got responsibilities and things to take care of. How am I supposed to do something that doesn't even bring me money and put food on the table?
Yeah.
How did you make that transition, and how would you give advice to somebody else?
Well, I think everything is a balance. So it's like, yes, we have to put food on the table, but we have to feed our soul. So our passion feeds our soul. So yes, you're going to work every day and you're getting paid, but when you come home, you need to be working a little bit on that passion. Even if it's 30 minutes, 30 minutes grows to an hour. You know, an hour goes to 2 hours. Pretty soon, every day after work, you're working on your real passion for 4 hours, and it's turning into a business. Nothing happens overnight. Like Just Too Nice is still growing. Some people that meet me now still think that Just Too Nice is a startup, you know, because they're just meeting me. But nothing happened overnight. Like I did a little bit at a time each day. So I'll give you an example. Football is like a full-time job, like 40 hours, maybe 44 hours a day. I'm sorry, a week. But I really, really wanted to start Just Too Nice clothing. So I had to make calls to get the website started. I had to make calls to get the name registered and patented. I had to make calls to Corvallis Custom to, you know, they're like, oh, your shirts are ready, come pick it up. Well, okay, I have to practice an hour, I can't pick it up, but we close at 5. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I had to do little by little each day with the time that I had. But I easily could have took that time and took a nap. That's a choice. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, if you want something and it's your passion, you're gonna work towards it, even if it's a minute a day. You know what I'm saying? Because that keeps you alive. So like, back to what I said with the balance, it's like everything is a balance. Like, yes, I go to work and get paid, but I have to feed my soul with my passion. Like right now, if me and you are having a conversation and I'm not saying anything, that's an imbalance. You're gonna stop talking to me pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, everything in life is a balance, and we have to keep it here. Once it goes like here, it's over with. You know, so it's like, we have to keep that fire alive inside of us, that electricity, and it comes from that thing that we think about every day and every night. That's not a coincidence. That's calling you. Because you need to be with it. But you have to figure out how to be with it. And that's what I've done for myself. Like, I've worked at jobs that I've hated, and I've built myself up to where I don't have to do that anymore. So right now, I'm able to do what I want to do every day and be energetic about it. And bringing that energy to work brings you more opportunities. You know, sometimes I'll be like, this is a great day, this is going to happen. And I'll get a random text from a new client. Like, hey, I heard about you, I would love to work with you. You know, or I found out about your clothes. You know, how do I buy? Or a random person buys online. You know, it's just all being in that realm of energy. And it all, you know, comes back to you.
You said a lot of things there, and I like completely agree. There's things that if we're not passionate about, I feel like can drain our energy. And then there's things that we're passionate about that even though we spend that energy there, it actually gives us energy. It's like it almost enlightens us more, right? So that's the best part, and that's kind of like what all this is about. You know, I want to find out how people did it and help other people figure out how do we get from point A to point B. You know, how do we become energetic and alive and passionate about what we're doing, sharing our gifts with other people. And it seems like, you know, we've finally been able to get to that point, and obviously still growing, right? You know, we're always trying to get better. Wow, guys, I really enjoyed this interview with Malcolm, and I want to share a few of my takeaways, 9 to be exact. Takeaway number 1. Creativity and our greatest ideas can happen by accident and can grow organically. His nickname, Just Too Nice, ended up being his clothing brand. Takeaway number 2. Malcolm did not let his lack of knowledge prevent him from starting. Remember back in the interview, he said that he Googled how to start a business? He was basically learning on the go. Takeaway number 3. He did what was persistently on his heart and mind. I think that there's so many times where we are wondering what our purpose is. It may not be one thing, but if there is something that is just constantly on your mind that you feel like you just have to do, just start there. Takeaway number 4. Being perfect is not a pre-qualification for starting. I think a lot of times we can have this perfectly mapped out plan, and sometimes it can prevent us from actually starting. Takeaway number 5. People can help you progress, but first you have to start. Now, I'm going to do takeaway number 6 basically from Malcolm when he said that time is going to pass anyway, so I might as well do the thing that I have been thinking about, and things are going to be a lot more fun that way anyway. Takeaway number 7. Now, if we are actively pursuing our desires, we will be directed in the way that we need to go. Remember that Malcolm was studying insurance out of all the things, but he failed the test, and that directed him to the path that he really wanted to take in the first place. Takeaway number 8. Now, we just need to roll back the tapes on that one on exactly what he said, because he said it way better than I'm going to try to paraphrase.
Yes, we have to put food on the table, but we have to feed our soul. So our passion feeds our soul. Okay, takeaway number 9, last takeaway. Affirmations work. Think about what you want. Write it down, say it daily, believe it, and see what manifests. Now, I would love to hear what your guys' takeaways are. Let me know in the comment section below, and make sure to tag somebody that you think could benefit from hearing this interview. So, until next time, bye guys.